What's going on, everybody? Dylan here with Espresso Outlet, and today we are going to be looking at the Legato and the Gen 2, the DF64 Gen 2. A lot of people have asked questions on how to dial in for espresso, so we're just going to kind of walk through how I do that, getting a brand new bean. So when I first opened up this brand new bag of beans from Good Brothers, it is their Neapolitan blend. The first thing I did was dose out 18 grams. So when dialing in for espresso, you just want to make sure that you're as consistent as possible. So if you do your very first one and you do 18 grams and then you do, let's say, WDT, you do distribution and then you tamp, you want to make sure that as you're doing that, you keep all the variables the same, and you do that time and time again until you get your desired output from your espresso. So you don't want to change anything up just because that one little change could affect the way that your shot pulls. So for example, when I first opened up the bag of coffee and I dosed out 18 grams, my first shot at, let's see, grind setting 25 looked like this. I'll put that up on the screen here. Okay, so as you can see, the shot was not good. It came out way too fast. It was like 12 seconds it came out. So I then went from grind setting 25 to, I knew it was a pretty big jump that I was gonna have to make in order to dial this in. So I went from 25 to 20. So then that second shot, same variables, looked like this. Okay, so as you see, that shot a little bit better, still not great. That came out in 18 seconds. So we noticed that there was about a 6 to 8 second difference between the first and the second shot. So now what I did is I went all the way down to 10. When I went to 10, the shot then looked like this. So as you can see, the puck prep wasn't great. It was spraying everywhere. But what it did tell me was it took about 39 seconds now. So as you can see, we went from about 12 seconds to 18 seconds. And then I made a big drastic change, which you're not supposed to do, and went all the way to 10. So I went from 25 grind setting to 20, and then from 20 all the way to 10. Do not recommend doing that, but it did show me it was way too fine. Even though there was channeling, we weren't worried about that. We just want to get it dialed in, then you can kind of take it from there. So what that tells me is from going from grind setting 10, I would say now that we need to go about 12 to 13, and we should be pretty close. So after seeing those 3 shots, we're gonna go ahead and do one more. I'll do this one on camera with you. And we're gonna go ahead and see if this is dialed in. We are at grind setting 13. So we're gonna try 13 and we're gonna see what happens with this result. So we're just going to get everything ready here. You're gonna, like I said, keep everything similar. So I'm gonna do the same thing I did with all the other shots. So we're going to dose in 18 grams. Load those in. So now we can just pull that out. The nice thing about the Gen 2 is it does have a plasma generator, so it does keep your workstation a lot cleaner than having all that static that builds up around the grinder. So it does do a really good job at that. So now what we're going to do is take this out. You always want to make sure you wipe that residue out. So as you can see, there's some residue in there, like a little bit of wetness. You want to make sure that that is cleared out every time. Like I said, consistency is important when dialing in. So we're going to use this funnel and we're going to WDT. Go ahead and give it a nice tamp. You're going to want to tamp standing up. It's a lot easier, but for the sake of video, this is what we're doing. So we're gonna go ahead and lock that in there. All right, so it happened in about 25 seconds. So if I were to dial in one more time, which we will do, we're gonna go from 13 down to about 12. 12 is gonna put us in that perfect range based on numbers. Now, I encourage you to always taste your shots, because there have been times where I've had a shot come out in about 17 seconds and I thought it was delicious. I dialed it into quote unquote the best thing on paper, which was a 1 to 2 in about 27 to 30 seconds, and I didn't like it as much. Now, that's not the case with every coffee. That's why it's important to always try your coffee to see what's best tasting for you. So we'll give it a try here. Really good crema. So yeah, actually, to be honest, I might actually want to pull that a little faster, because I do feel like it is a bit over extracted. How crazy that sounds with the amount of time, only 25 seconds. But I actually pulled a shot that was 18 seconds, like I said, my second shot that I pulled, and I actually really enjoyed it. It was very smooth. There wasn't as much acidity to it, and it was just a lot easier to go down, let's put it that way. But for the sake of the video, let's just go ahead and pull another one. So we're gonna do the same thing again. Like I said, keep everything the same. All right, and here we go. Moment of truth. Shot looks pretty good from here. Can't really see it from over here. I see it spraying a little bit. But we're more so looking for time here. There you go, 33 seconds. So I think that is good. I think that we're doing pretty well with the shot time. So as you can see, the finer we went, the longer the shot extracted. So just keep that in mind when you're using the grinder. This is the Gen 2 DF64. So let's just go ahead and pull this out and give it a try. Very nice crema. So like I said, even though we got closer on time, I still would recommend, or I'd prefer to hit like 18 to like maybe 20, 21, 22 seconds with this coffee. Just because it tastes better than the on paper, quote unquote, you should hit this and this in this amount of time. So the biggest thing to take away from this video is if you are grinding for espresso and it's taking you a couple times, opening up a new bag and you're getting frustrated, just take your time, learn your grinder, learn how many seconds it is per tick based on the coffee that you're using. And really taste every shot, because just because it looks like a good shot or just because it doesn't look like a good shot doesn't determine the final taste in your cup. So make sure you're always trying your cups of espresso, trying your shots, no matter how good or how bad it is, just so you know, because you might experience the best tasting espresso with one of the worst looking shots. So as always, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the channel. My name is Dylan with Espresso Outlet, and I'll catch you in the next one.